Gotham City Police Department, Personal Recording Archive File, GCPD, Gordon, Personal Tape Number 8. Location, Gordon Residence, night date, April 22nd. Status, unofficial. Tape clicks on. Softer start than usual, no sirens, no wind, just the faint sound of a clock in distant city hush. Gordon's voice is quieter, steadier, but tired in a different way now. Not panicked, reflective. Captain James Gordon. Personal log. I haven't slept properly in. I don't know how long anymore. Barbara thinks I'm working too much. I tell her I'm fine. I think she's starting to understand that fine doesn't mean anything in Gotham. A chair creaks slowly. He sits. I keep replaying what I saw on the roof. The robbery, the chase, the two of them, the bat, and the cat. Long pause. At first I thought I was losing it. That's what any sane officer would conclude. Hallucination. Stress response. Pattern overload. But I keep coming back to one detail I can't dismiss. They didn't attack civilians. They didn't kill anyone. The cat, she stole. That's what the reports say. Jewelry, high-value targets, carefully chosen, almost surgical. And the bat, hat. The bat didn't strike her down. It chased her off the city. It stopped the crime in motion, not after the fact. Like it wasn't interested in punishment, only correction. That changes things. That changes everything I thought I knew about what I've been tracking. Paper rustling softly. I went back through all the incidents. Blackgate, Falcone, Wayne records, the federal anomalies, the shifting data, the disappearances that aren't disappearances because no one remembers what was there in the first place. And I started asking a question I didn't want to ask. What if this isn't random? What if it never was? What if Gotham has always had something like this? Something watching. Something enforcing limits we never agreed to out loud. He pauses again, longer this time. I know how that sounds. I know what it sounds like I'm becoming, but I saw it. I saw it move. And for the first time since all of this started, I didn't feel afraid of it. I felt like criminals were. A faint shift in tone, less exhaustion, more clarity. I've spent my whole career trying to understand Gotham through people, through systems, through corruption chains and power structures and street-level patterns. But what if that was the wrong scale entirely? What if Gotham doesn't just produce criminals? What if it produces responses? The bat. If it's real, if it's consistent, if it's been here longer than I've been willing to believe, then it's not chaos, it's balance. He stops himself, like he's aware how far he's gone. No, not balance. Safer correction, slower. Maybe, warning, maybe fear used correctly. Fear is already in Gotham. It always has been. But it's been in the wrong hands. Criminals use it. The city suffers from it. People like Falcone, they feed on it. But what I saw, that thing didn't spread fear downward. It aimed it upward, at the ones who think they're untouchable. Maybe that's what Gotham needed all along. Not another system. Not another politician. Not another broken promise wearing a suit. But something that reminds the worst people in this city that they are not unseen. That they are not above consequence. He exhales slowly. I don't know what it is. I don't know where it came from. And I don't know if I'm right about any of this. But I do know this. For the first time in years, Gotham felt like it reacted to something stronger than crime. And I think I understand why criminals would fear it. Long pause. The clock ticks louder now, calm but heavy. Barbara asked me tonight if I'm scared anymore. I told her no. That wasn't entirely true, but it also wasn't entirely a lie, because I'm not scared of the bat. I'm scared of what Gotham becomes if it ever stops needing it. This is Captain James Gordon. End log. Tape stops. Gotham City Police Department, Archival Supplement File, GCPD Special Recording Number 1, Classification Restricted, Multi-Source Footage, Date Range, April 23rd to April 25th. SARM Part 1, Recovered Footage, Burning Building Incident. Footage begins abruptly, heavy static. Flames dominate the frame. The recording source is unclear, possibly handheld or damaged security camera. Audio is distorted with crackling fire. A warehouse structure is fully engulfed. Metal beams collapsing inward. Screams, brief, then cut off. Camera shifts violently as if dropped or dragged. Inside the inferno, movement. A figure, tall, distorted by heat waves, a silhouette that does not burn the way it should. The bat-like entity. It moves through flame without hesitation, not avoiding it, not reacting to it, like the fire isn't affecting it. A second figure appears deeper in the blaze. A man, or something resembling one, skin warped, face part Gotham City Police Department, archival supplement file, GCPD Special Recording Number 1, classification restricted, multi-source footage, date range April 23rd to April 25th. SAR Part 1, recovered footage, burning building incident. Footage begins abruptly, heavy static. Flames dominate the frame. The recording source is unclear, possibly handheld or damaged security camera. Audio is distorted with crackling fire. A warehouse structure is fully engulfed. Metal beams collapsing inward. Screams, brief, then cut off. Camera shifts violently as if dropped or dragged. Inside the inferno, movement. A figure, tall, distorted by heat waves, a silhouette that does not burn the way it should. The bat-like entity. It moves through flame without hesitation, not avoiding it, not reacting to it, like the fire isn't affecting it. A second figure appears deeper in the blaze. A man, or something resembling one, skin warped, face part.
Here.
Gotham City Police Department archival supplement file, GCPD Special Recording Number classification restricted, multi-source footage. Date range April 23rd to April 25th. Part 1, recovered footage, burning building incident. Footage begins abruptly, heavy static. Flames dominate the frame. The recording source is unclear, possibly handheld or damaged security camera. Audio is distorted with crackling fire. A warehouse structure is fully engulfed. Metal beams collapsing inward. Screams brief then cut off. Camera shifts violently as if dropped or dragged. Inside the inferno, movement. A figure, tall, distorted by heat waves. A silhouette that does not burn the way it should. The bat-like entity. It moves through flame without hesitation. Not avoiding it, not reacting to it, like the fire isn't affecting it. A second figure appears deeper in the blaze. A man, or something resembling one. Skin warped, face partially melted, eyes swollen outward, reflecting firelight unnaturally. Teeth visible even when the mouth is closed. This is Carl Helfern, known as Dr. Death. He is laughing. The sound is wet, uneven, wrong. You came back? Good, good. I wanted to see if you were real. The bat figure does not respond. Dr. Death lunges forward, movement erratic, almost insect-like. Too fast for a burned body. The bat shifts, not stepping, not dodging, just not where it was before. Impact sound. Dr. Myself, Death is thrown backward into burning debris. He rises again, still laughing. Flames surge. Camera struggles to maintain image. You can't kill what's already improved. The bat moves again, faster this time. A blur within flame. A strike, precise. Dr. Death collapses, still moving, still breathing, but no longer advancing. The bat stands over him for a moment. Then, it looks directly toward the camera. Static spike, frame distorts heavily. And the footage cuts, part 2, Commercast archival clip, abrupt tonal shift, clean audio, bright orchestral music, black and white advertisement reel. From the innovators at Helfern Enterprises comes a breakthrough in botanical science. Image workers handling plant material, smiling, controlled environment. A revolutionary pollen-derived compound designed to enhance agricultural yield and environmental resilience. Close-up of labeled container, pollen prolongant, safe, effective, the future of growth, today. Screen flickers briefly, image distorts for less than a second. For a single frame, the pollen appears darker, thicker, moving unnaturally, then normal again. Helfern Enterprises, reshaping tomorrow. Audio warps slightly at the end before cutting out. Part 3, Arkham Asylum interview recording file. Arkham patient interview log. Date, April 25th, year at DACT. Tape begins, clinical room tone, distant echo, papers being adjusted. This is Dr. Stephen Kellerman, conducting interview with patient number 29. Name, Carl Helfern, though Gotham refers to him as Dr. Death. Patient is responsible for over 200 confirmed deaths. Chair creaks, subtle wet breathing from across the room. Dr. Helfern, I'd like to begin with your product. The pollen compound produced by Helfern Enterprises, what was its intended purpose? Silence, then a low, uneven chuckle. Death. They told the public it was for crops, a wet inhale. But no, it was made to spread, to change things, write something down. Change how? War. July 29th, 1941, his voice lowers, almost proud. For the Nazis. Room goes very still. A biological weapon? Dr. Death smiles, audible in his voice. Not a weapon. A step forward. Kellerman shifts tone slightly. Your assistant, Jabba, he died in the fire. Do you feel remorse? Death. He knew what could happen. No emotion. Kellerman exhales quietly, then continues. Your condition, your vision, your face, your eyes are distended. Your teeth, there are more than there should be. Can you explain that? A wet, clicking sound as Dr. Death adjusts in his restraints. My work improved me. It went off in the fire. And now I'm more. Kellerman leans forward slightly. Is that how you received the burn on the left side of your face? And what do you mean by more than human? Then very softly. Yes, you'll find out. Audio dips suddenly. A faint scratching noise begins, like something dragging lightly across a wall. Tape cuts. Part 4. Incident Update Report File, Arkham, Internal Alert. Date, April 25th, later same day. Patient 029, Carl Helfern, Dr. Death, status containment breach unexplained. 5 Arkham security personnel found deceased outside containment corridor. Cause of death pending. No visible signs of forced exit from patient cell. Security footage reviewed. No recording shows the patient leaving the cell. No door breach. No lock failure. No visual anomaly detected. Final note, handwritten addendum. Cells are still closed. He is still inside. We checked twice. No closing audio.
Unless there's something that needs to be judged. Like something really bad that needs to be judged.
What? And we don't judge.
Yeah.
I killed a woman!
We listen and we don't judge. But I'm going to tell your dad something, and he's going to look at me and already know this. Sometimes I don't really have a headache.
Gotham City Police Department, Personal Recording Archive File. GCPD, Gordon, Analysis Tape Number 9. Location, GCPD, Records Room, Restricted Files. Date, April 26th, unofficial transcription. Tape clicks on. Fluorescent lights buzz overhead. The room sounds empty, too empty. Paper slides slowly across a desk. Captain James Gordon. Subject, Carl Helfern alias Dr. Death. I've been going through everything we have on him. Not just Arkham's files, not just GCPD incident reports, military records, old ones, buried ones, paper flips. A folder closes softly. Because what he said in that interview, July 29th, 1941, that date matters. I know it does, because I was there. The hum of the lights seems louder. Not in the lab, not in whatever facility he worked out of, but in the war. He exhales slowly. I served from 1939 to 1945. Infantry, Europe. Long enough to know what experimental weapons look like before anyone admits they exist. Long enough to see things that don't make it into official reports. Paper rustling again. There were rumors back then, not official briefings. Whispers about compounds that didn't just kill, they changed things. Animals first, then people. We were told it was enemy propaganda, fear tactics, stories meant to break morale. But I remember one night, he stops. Tape hum rises slightly. No, that's not part of this report. He refocuses. Helfern's work matches those rumors too closely to ignore. Pollen-based dispersal, airborne, difficult to trace, capable of altering biological structure, not just destroying it. Paper slides across desk. Helfern Enterprises presented it as agricultural research, growth enhancement, environmental adaptation. But the timeline doesn't lie. 1941, war escalation, covert weapons programs expanding across multiple fronts. If he was telling the truth, then his product wasn't a side project. It was the project. Gordon leans slightly closer to the recorder. And if that's true, then what happened in that fire wasn't an accident. It was exposure. He said it made him more than human. I've seen men come out of chemical exposure before. They don't come out talking like that. They don't come out alive in that way. Chair creaks. But here's what doesn't fit. Arkham reports say he never left his cell. Security footage confirms it. No door movement, no visual anomalies, nothing. And yet, 5 guards are dead. Long pause. That's not a containment failure. That's something else. Something we don't have language for in police reports. Gordon exhales slowly. I keep connecting this back to everything else. The bat, the owl symbol, the Wayne case, the way information disappears instead of being erased. He lowers his voice slightly. And now Helfern, a man who weaponized biology during the war, who survived something that should have killed him, who now exists inside a locked room and still reaches outside it. Barbara asked me today what I did before I was a cop. I told her I was a soldier. She asked if I saw anything scary. I told her no, a faint, humorless breath. That was the easiest lie I've ever told. Because what I'm looking at now, it feels familiar, not in detail, not in form, but in pattern. The same kind of thing you only recognize after it's already too late to stop it. Tape deepens slightly. If Helfern's weapon is still active, if it didn't end in that fire, then Gotham isn't dealing with isolated incidents. It's dealing with fallout. And fallout doesn't stay contained. This is Captain James Gordon, N-Log. Tape stops. Archival war recording, recovered film reel file, European theater, unmarked intelligence footage, date July 29th, 1941. Status degraded, partial restoration. Film begins with heavy grain, black and white footage flickers violently, audio crackles beneath a low mechanical hum. The camera appears handheld, military issue. A war-torn village, buildings reduced to skeletal frames, smoke rising in thick columns, distant gunfire echoes, but abruptly stops. Camera pans shakily upward. Something is in the sky. Not an aircraft. Not anything recognized in standard military reports. A figure descends. Wings extended. Metal. Jagged. Segmented like blades rather than feathers. The sound they make is wrong. Too sharp. Too precise. Like machinery cutting through air instead of moving with it. The figure lands. Hard. The ground cracks beneath the impact. The camera zooms slightly. Grain distorts the image. A woman, or something resembling one. Her face partially obscured, but what is visible is unnatural. Eyes too reflective, expression fixed, one arm, mechanical, jointed metal replacing flesh. This is what the soldiers would later refer to as Silver Swan. Her wings flex outward, slicing through falling debris midair. A group of soldiers, American, open fire. Bullets strike. They do not slow her. She moves. Not running, not flying, just closing distance in a way the camera fails to track. One soldier aside, impact off screen. Another lifted, then dropped. The sound cuts in and out as if the recording itself is rejecting what it's capturing. A voice behind the camera, Jesus? What is that thing? Before the sentence finishes, a second presence enters the frame. From above, fast, bright against the smoke. The camera struggles to adjust exposure. A figure lands between the soldiers and the winged entity. Armor. Bracelets deflecting incoming debris. A lasso at her side, glowing faintly even in black and white. This is what the reports called Wonder Woman. She stands firm. No hesitation. It's her. It's the one they were talking about. Silver Swan tilts her head. Mechanical wing joints clicking. You interfere with evolution. Wonder Woman steps forward. No visible fear. Only intent. They move at the same time. The impact is immediate. Violent. The camera loses focus as the shockwave hits. Debris lifts. Sound cuts to static for nearly 3 seconds. Image returns, barely. Wonder Woman blocks a strike from the mechanical arm. The metal screeches against her bracers. Frame. Silver Swan retaliates, wings snap forward like blades, too fast to follow cleanly. Wonder Woman ducks, counterstrike, lasso flashes. The rope wraps briefly around one wing. For a moment, the machine resists. Then it screams. The sound is not fully mechanical, not fully human. The camera glitches. Frames skip. Silver Swan tears free, ripping part of the lasso away. Silver Swan, you cannot stop what has already begun. Wonder Woman doesn't respond. She advances again, faster this time, more direct. Another clash, louder, closer. The camera operator stumbles backward. The image becomes unstable. Final visible moment, Wonder Woman drives forward. Silver Swan lifts into the air, the two collide mid-frame, and the film burns out. Frame melts, audio warps into silence. End of reel credits. No official documentation attached.
How many sandwiches do you want? How many eggs? No, man, I got four here.
Sandwich was if I was gonna have, if I wanted, if we had enough, I was gonna have, if we have enough 2 sandwiches, I was gonna have 2 eggs on each sandwich.
No. I'm not cooking that.
That's what I said I would do it.
Well, I got 2 eggs in there.
That's why I said if I wanted a second, I could do, a second one, It's just you make them, make the eggs better than So I can make the second one, because I have to, I'm gonna do the turkey thing anyways.
Yeah, so you want me to make the one?
Yeah.
Want cheese on it?
No thanks.
DC Horror Annual Number 1, Part Origins. Gotham remembers the night wrong. It always has. They say it was a mugging. They say it was desperation. They say a man named Joe Chill pulled a trigger and changed the city forever. That's the version people can live with. But the truth stayed in the alley. The gunshot echoed, then another, then silence. Thomas Wayne fell first, Martha Wayne second, and then the child, Bruce Wayne small, still, eyes open, looking at something no one else saw. Death did not take him, not fully. Something held him there, something unfinished, something hungry. At first, he did not understand what he was. There was no breath, no heartbeat, only awareness. A shape without form, drifting through the dark edges of the alley. Watching his parents, watching the man who killed them, watching Gotham. Then the hunger came, slow, deep, not pain, need. He learned quickly the city was full of it, blood, hidden behind locked doors, behind sterile glass, behind systems built to contain life. He slipped through them like a shadow. Blood banks, hospitals, storage units. He took only what he needed, never enough to be noticed, but always enough to remain. He changed. Over times. He was a thing of shadow, tall, thin, winged in ways that didn't follow anatomy, eyes that reflected nothing, a presence that bent the dark around it. Other times, he could become a man again, the man he would have been, grown, normal, a face Gotham would recognize if it remembered correctly. But it didn't, because Gotham had already rewritten him, erased him, filed him away as a tragedy that ended cleanly. Only two people ever saw past that lie. Alfred Pennyworth and Lucius Fox. Alfred never stopped talking to him, because Alfred never stopped seeing him. Even when Bruce stood in the corner as something else, something not entirely alive, Alfred still poured 2 cups of tea, still asked how his day had been, still pretended the world hadn't ended in an alley. Lucius learned later, after the tapes, after the recordings of nothing, after realizing Alfred wasn't talking to himself. The first time Lucius saw him, he didn't scream, he didn't run, he just said, "Master Bruce?" And the thing in the shadows? Nodded. Gotham called it a myth, a creature, a rumor. But it had a name once. And somewhere deep inside what remained, it still did. Part 2, The Bat and the Cat. The rooftops don't end where people think they do. They stretch, they connect, they fold into each other like veins above the city. She moved across them like she belonged there. The cat, purple fur catching the city light in flashes, jewelry clinking softly against her throat, stolen pieces layered like trophies. Not afraid. Never afraid. Behind her, something followed. The bat, it did not run, it did not leap, it arrived. Closer each time she looked back. "You're persistent," she said, smiling without slowing. Her voice echoed wrong like it didn't fully belong to her mouth. It said nothing. She turned sharply, vaulting a gap that should have broken her stride. Landing light, perfect. Looking back. It was already there, waiting. For a moment, they stood across from each other, predator and no, not prey. Something else. "You don't want me," she said. "You want what I took." Silence. The bat tilted its head, not denying it. She laughed. And then, she wasn't there anymore. Not gone, not moved, just absent, like a thought that stopped mid-sentence. The bat lingered, watching the space she had occupied. Then it turned and disappeared into Gotham. The chase was over, but not finished. The bat meets Dr. Death. It started with a smell. Sweet? Wrong. Carl Helfern had already begun changing, long before the fire, long before the world saw what he became. His work spread quietly. Pollen, airborne, invisible, alive in ways it shouldn't be. People got sick, not immediately, slowly, subtly, then violently. The bat followed the pattern, tracked the decay, moved through hospitals and laboratories and abandoned facilities until it found the source. Helfern welcomed it. "You're too late," he said, skin already shifting, eyes swelling, teeth growing where there shouldn't be any. The bat did not speak. It moved. Helfern fought back, stronger than he should have been, faster, unstable. The lab caught fire during the struggle. Not accidental, not entirely. Flames consumed everything, except them. The bat dragged him through it, contained him, stopped him. But not before the pollen ignited. Not before it changed him completely. Not before he became something else. Something that would survive. Something that would wait. Part 4, Partnership. Gotham believed in ghosts, just not the right ones. The announcement shocked the city. Bruce Wayne had returned, alive, older, untouched by time in ways no one could explain. He stood before cameras, calm, human. "I was away," he said, "a long trip." And Gotham accepted it. Because Gotham prefers impossible truths over unbearable ones. But one man didn't accept it. Captain Jim Gordon, because he had been there in the alley on that night. He knew what death looked like, and he had seen Bruce Wayne die. So that night, he tested a theory. On the roof of the GCPD, he lit a symbol, crude, handmade, fire shaped into something deliberate. A bat. He waited. For a long time, nothing. Then something moved in the dark, watching. "What are you?" Silence. Then a shape stepped forward. Not fully human, not fully anything else. The bat. How did you know? Gordon didn't hesitate. I was there, he said, the night you died. A pause. What are you? The answer came slowly, uncertain. I don't know. A longer silence. It feels like something isn't finished. Gordon studied him, not as a monster, not as a myth, as a case. Did you kill Joe Chill? He's dead. That's not what I asked. Silence. Then, no. Gordon nodded. Then you mean good for this city? A pause. Yes, that was enough. Not trust, not belief, but a beginning. The light flickered against the rooftop, 2 figures standing in it. Not allies, not yet, but no longer alone. Part 5, the straw man. The field was too quiet. Wind should have moved the crops, it didn't. Something stood at the center, taller than it should have been, thinner. Wrong. A scarecrow, but not made to scare birds. Its body was stitched from straw and something darker. A hood covered its head, a sack mask stretched over where a face should be. A noose hung loosely around its neck. Its fingers were not fingers, long metal prongs, sharp, rust-stained, like the ends of broken tools. A farmer approached, slowly, confused. Hello, he called. The scarecrow tilted its head. Then, it breathed. A green gas poured from beneath the mask, thick, spreading. The farmer inhaled and screamed. Not from pain, from seeing something else. He clawed at his face, at his eyes, at reality itself. Until there was nothing left to see with. The scarecrow watched, still, silent. Then it moved, dragging itself through the field like it had all the time in the world. In Gotham, people began to feel something new. Not crime, not corruption. Fear, pure, uncontrolled. And somewhere above the city, something watched it begin. Not stopping it, not yet. Because even the bat didn't understand everything that was coming. DC Horror Annual Number 2, Part 1, Interview, Arkham Asylum, Internal Recording. Status, Authorized Psychiatric Session. Tape begins. Clean audio, controlled environment. A clock ticks softly in the background. Papers are aligned carefully before being touched. Jonathan Crane. This is Dr. Jonathan Crane, conducting a scheduled interview with patient. He glances at the file, though he already knows the answer. Carl Helfern. A wet, uneven breathing sound from across the room. You already know my name. Yes. That's why we use it, to remind you that you're still human. A pause. Soft laughter. That's generous. Let's begin with your background. Your work with botanical compounds. Your pollen. A shift in tone. Interest. Ah, there it is. You developed it under the guise of agricultural advancement, but records suggest, he taps the page lightly, it had other applications. Everything has other applications, including inducing altered psychological states. A pause. Longer this time. You're not asking about crops. No, I'm asking about effects. Crane leans forward slightly, the chair creaks. What happens when your compound is inhaled? Then, a low, thoughtful tone. It reveals things. Clarify. It removes the barrier between what is and what is feared. The clock ticks louder in the silence that follows. Hallucinations? No. Truth. Crane writes something down, slower than before. And dosage, control, delivery methods, now it's obvious. He's not just asking, he's learning. Airborne, always airborne. You don't administer fear. You let it spread. Crane's pen stops. Your transformation, was that a result of overexposure? Overexposure. Such a careful phrase. Answer the question. A shift. Slight tension. Yes. And no. Explain. It didn't just change my body. His voice lowers. It changed what I could perceive. Silence stretches. Perceive what? Things that were already there. Crane doesn't write this down. Your assistant. Jabba. A faint shift in Helfern's breathing. Do you regret his death? No, immediate, certain. He was necessary. Crane studies him now, not as a patient, as a subject. Necessary for what? Helfern leans forward slightly, restraints creak. Proof. Proof of what? That fear is the purest form of control. The clock ticks again. And you believe that? Don't you? Nothing is written down this time. The tape distorts slightly, just for a second. You're not here to cure me. You're here to understand how to become me. A long silence. No. I'm here to improve upon you. Then, very quietly, Helfern, the tape cuts. The part 2. Epilogue, the fool. No audio at first, just wind. Long before Gotham had a name, there were stories. A court, stone walls, torches burning low. At its center, a jester. Clothed in patchwork, face painted into something that pretended to be joy. He juggled. Not balls, not knives. Skulls. Old, cleaned, smiling without lips. The court laughed because that's what they were supposed to do. The jester bowed, then dropped one. It cracked open against the stone floor. Something inside it moved. The jester tilted his head, listening. Then he laughed. Not for the court, not for the king, for something else. Something unseen, something that had always been there, watching, waiting. The torches flickered, and for a moment, the jester's shadow stretched too long, too thin, too wrong. Then everything returned to normal. And no one remembered that it hadn't been.
Oh. Yeah, the one I had, it was empty, so the other one
I'll look that I will.
He has a collection of some of the world's rarest fish and corals. That fish costs more than my car. But you can't just order this fish taken online. of these koi fish cost over $250,000. That is literally a house swimming around. These koi fish fly first class all the way from Japan in giant plastic bags. These guys are so cute. But koi are freshwater, and Jamie's bed is saltwater. Luckily, Andrew has plenty of saltwater tanks too. This is Andrew's ultra-rare coral tank. It low-key looks like a tank full of candy. And my favorite, this clownfish anemone tank. But I realized I was getting totally distracted. Nemo's not gonna fix Jamie's bed.
You know this is all in the front. Come in the back and check out these systems.
Wait, there's a cat?
Oh, wow.
Something is still wrong with our tide pool bag. You see, how they tide
Gotham City Police Department Evidence Log Number 1, File GCPD Multi-Source Audio Record. Date April 27th, Status Active Investigation. Part 1, Personal Log Transit Record. Tape clicks on, engine running, early morning road noise. Gordon's voice is quieter than usual, measured but tired. Captain James Gordon. En route to rural outskirts. Farmland just outside Gotham limits. Report came in early this morning. Civilian found deceased under unusual circumstances. Pause. Turn signal clicking. Before I get there, I need to log something personal. Tomorrow's Barbara's birthday. She's turning 7. A faint, almost absent smile in his voice. She's excited. Keeps talking about how Gotham finally has a hero. Says we're catching up to the rest of the world. Metropolis has its Man of Steel. Coast City has its Emerald Knight. Central City has something fast enough no one ever sees it. He exhales quietly. And Gotham, she says Gotham has the Bat. She thinks it's good. Something to look up to. Something that scares the right people. Longer pause. She's been reading about the Justice Society of America old war heroes. Says maybe the Bat is like them, just different. The car slows slightly. I don't know how to explain to her what I've actually seen, or what this city really does to the things inside it. She's been having nightmares. Keeps waking up talking about a crow, tall, watching her from the corner of her room, doesn't move, just breathes. I told her it's just a dream. I don't think she believes me. Engine idles down. Arriving at scene now, continuing recording. Audio blends into body cam feed. Part 2, on-scene investigation, body cam footage. Wind, open land, no city noise, then crows. Dozens of them. Loud, overlapping. The camera shifts as Gordon steps forward. Jesus. The body is in the field, surrounded. Crows scatter slightly but do not fully leave. They circle. Yeah, they've been like that since we got here. Wouldn't move till you showed up. Gordon steps closer. Boots crunch on dry soil. A farmer. Male. Eyes are gone. Clawed out, no tool marks. He did it himself. A new voice enters, calm. Cause of death isn't physical trauma. Not directly. Gordon turns slightly. Doctor. We're detecting chemical traces, but nothing complete. Fragments of compounds overlapping. Translation? It's a mixture. Something engineered, not a single substance. She kneels beside the body. Whatever he inhaled, it caused extreme psychological distress. You mean fear? Yumi doesn't answer immediately. I mean something that made him see something worse than reality. The crows grow louder briefly. Any match to known substances? Partial overlaps with narcotics, hallucinogens, and experimental compounds. Gordon looks out over the field. The crows settle again around the body. A flock of crows? Yeah? That's called a murder. Part 3, Evidence Review. Tape shifts back to controlled indoor audio. Paper spread out. Reviewing collected evidence across multiple incidents. Subject, the Bat, appears during active criminal events, does not kill, targets escalation points, movement inconsistent with human capability. The Cat, Female entity. Theft-based activity. Displays awareness of bat. Capable of disappearance without trace. Subject, pollen compound. Origin linked to Carl Helfern. Airborne dispersal. Causes psychological breakdown. Effects align with fear-induced hallucination. These are not separate cases anymore. They intersect at multiple points. Something is building. Part 4. On-scene investigation. Politician case. Tape clicks into active field audio. Indoors. Office environment. Quiet. Too quiet. Captain Gordon. On site. Victim, local politician. Name withheld pending notification. Footsteps, a door creaks. No signs of struggle. Same as chill. Same as the others. There's something here. Paper unfolds. A note. No one talks about them. Not a whisper word is said.
It was a trap.
That again?
This is a pistol shrimp.
Gordon doesn't answer.
His name because of that
Coin. He lifts it. Owl engraving. Same as Blackgate. Same as chill. Footsteps approach. A nervous voice enters. I heard something earlier this morning. What kind of something? Owls. Owls inside an office? It was loud, like scratching and calling. Her voice trembles. It stopped at 5. Just stopped.
I'm giving away this gift.
Gordon checks notes.
Everything you need for your very
Body was found at 7.
last week.
So he was dead. 2 to 3 hours before discovery. What was he working on? He had a meeting scheduled 2 weeks from now with us to expose corporate activity tied to Roland Daggett. Silence settles heavily. Tape softens, quieter, personal again. 2 bodies, same coin, same message. Something is silencing people before they speak. Something organized, old, careful. And now it's tied to corporations, to politics, to things bigger than street crime. Barbara thinks Gotham finally has a hero. He exhales slowly. I hope she's right, because whatever this is, it's not afraid of us. Click, tape ends.
Leave your toe sitting.
I can't find the link
There you
anywhere.
go.
Just the other day, the water was here, and now look at it. Our animals have no current. Don't worry, guys. I'll figure this out. But I thought over
And
every
then
step,
I'm going
every
to
edge, and even along
use
the
this other skillet.
We're going to have to drain the tank. I can't believe I'm not going to be able to sleep on my new bed.
Making some more of the turkey
The salinity in the
chicken
tank
thing.
isn't way too high.
Because that's actually, since that's those sandwiches. I'm happy I thought of those sandwiches. Well, thought to make them, you know, since those are